Welcome everyone back to Heart Truth Hoops on the Unapologetic Sports Network. I am your host Anthony. This is McCaven. McCaven, how you doing today?
Doing all right, man.
All right, we are here. It is finally the finals. We have made it to the last two teams: the New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs. Game 7 starts in about 30 minutes or so, or maybe later because it's going to be on ESPN. You know they take forever. But before we get into that, I want to talk about Game 7 that happened so long ago. The Spurs did it. I said Spurs are gonna win. I think you also picked the Spurs. But it was actually like surprising that they got the series. When you just think about like where they came from the beginning of the season, what they're expected was what they were expected to do going into the season, and now they're the youngest team ever to go to the finals, beating the team that was the youngest team to win last year in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Um, what was your initial reaction to Game 7 and the Spurs winning?
It wasn't surprising for me. Wasn't surprising. I mean, this is who they've been all year. They played OKC great all year, so it wasn't that surprising. I was more surprised with OKC, and not San Antonio. This is who, like I said, this is who San Antonio has been all season long. So
Bob, you've been surprised by OKC. What do you mean by that?
just, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. Just, I mean, I was surprised in one SGA's approach to the game. We'll go over that whole thing on another day,
No,
but
we
just
can go through that today. I've been wanting to talk about this since Saturday.
his approach to the game, and then also surprised by the others around SGA that just didn't produce. How they produce all year long, and then they just couldn't produce, and also surprised by coaching of OKC. I think that was Mark Dagnall's worst game coaching wise. So
How so? Because in a Game 7, to me, at that point, both coaches have threw out everything they can. At that point, it's up to the players to just go out there and hoop. Um, I mean, if I let me see if I can look up Game 7 stats. I mean, it's hard for me to blame Dagnall when his second best player had I got his goal 4 points on two shots. Now, of course, you could coach him up to shoot more, but if he's passing off shots, it's hard to just say, "Oh, the coach." I don't know
well,
how.
you're not executing sets. They weren't executing sets for Chet. I'm not excusing Chet's play. Chet is at a fault. But they weren't executing sets for him. They weren't running anything for him or anything like that. In addition to, and this is what and I always have went against this idea, and every single coach in the NBA does this. So this is not something that Mark Dagnall alone does. Even San Antonio's coach does it. Um, is every coach shortens their bench, especially when you get to game 6 and 7. And I hate it, and I absolutely hate it. And especially when you have a team like OKC, who one of their biggest things are they literally have 1 through 12, 13. So play 1 through 12, 13. Like do continue to do the things that got you there. And that is where the coaching mistake, in my opinion, comes in play because Chet was not playing well. In addition to you're not running anything for him, so go ahead, one start bringing in those guys that got you there. They can play. Those guys on the bench can play. Like that. That's just my opinion on it, and that's just where I feel like that was his mistake.
I disagree. I mean, I disagree not because I think you're wrong, more so than I think he literally played everyone he could. I'm looking here. He played 9 guys. Kendrick Williams only played 4 minutes though, so the other 8 guys all played 16 plus, and the 16 was Lou Dort. Everybody else besides Lou Dort played over 20 minutes. He's missing Jalen Williams, the J Dub, Jalen Williams, and AJ Mitchell in that game. Uh, and I in Game 7, I personally, like I said, it's at that point we've done everything we could. We've thrown everything at the wall. Maybe not everything, but we did everything we wanted to do, and we're now in a Game 7. At that point, your best players have to execute. You can't be going like, oh, this guy who's the 12th man here, go in there. Like, no, we don't need any wasted possessions, any wasted minutes. I mean, Wemby played 42 minutes, and in this whole series, you've seen it. As soon as Wemby got out the game, the Thunder went on a run. So they couldn't afford to have Wemby out the game. And especially, I think it was the second quarter, Shea went like 6 for 7, getting switches on Julian Champagnie over and over and over and over. And it's just like, you can't, like, Julian Champagnie's an important player out there. They weren't going to take him out. I mean, he was one of the most important players in that game. But it's like, you got to ride with the guys that got you there. And in the case of Oklahoma City, two of the guys that helped get them there, well, one of them really AJ Mitchell, because J-Dub was pretty much hurt all playoffs. But he is one of their more important players if they did have J-Dub. But when you're missing two of the other guys that can be ball handlers, it's hard to win. And then Shea, we did all that talking about Shea being the playoff dropper. He rose to the occasion this game. But it's hard for Shea to have a good game like that when you got Alex Caruso, who was really good this series. He went 3 for 14. Jerry McCain, who was really good this series, 5 for 12. And then, like I said, Chet only took 2 shots.
Yeah, it's for me, it's the spurts that they play. So it's the spurts. It's when you substitute. It's when you don't substitute. It's the spurts and how what like the segments in which they played. I would have to go back and really see like how the segments of those guys later on in the bench in the rotation. You got me on Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso 3 for 14. Like he had a bad game. Like that's you know what I'm saying he had a bad shooting game, stuff like that.
The thing with the bad shots is just saying 3 for 14 doesn't do that 3 for 14. Like, I don't want to say justice. Like, it was bad. Some of the attempts were bad. Like, they're honestly momentum breaking takes when you're like for the Thunder. It's like you might have got a few possessions where you scored. Alex Caruso going in trying to make a layup on Wemby, and now it's just not going to work. So I mean, and then Casey Wallace, he had 17. 14 of that was in the fourth quarter. He had 3 before that. You can't win when nobody else came to show up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sitting here. I mean, when like I don't. I'm not blaming. I'm not putting 100% of blame on no one specific person in OKC. I just I think the blame is spread out. Across multiple people, and so yeah, that's where I was coming from with it.
Now, what I do want to get into is this conversation about the approach to the game that you were talking about with Shay. Um, and I don't remember the full conversation because a lot of it happened on Saturday after the game. But um, what was the approach to the game that you like? What was the difference in the game that Shay had to you?
the the approach to the game, his mindset, it was a whole mental thing. And so how you literally just how you started out talking about him saying like, oh, in the usual playoff drop that we have from SGA, it was different. It wasn't the same. And that was because of his approach to the game. It was and what I was telling you after the game was well, during and after the game was that he locked in. His mindset was not to try, and I believe that this is his mindset. That it's not is literally his mindset was going and I'm going to play basketball and I'm going to score and try to win this game instead of I'm trying to trick the refs. I'm trying to draw fouls. Like when going into his shooting motion, he's not flailing. He's not flopping. He's literally just playing basketball. He's just playing basketball, trying to win the game, not trying to fool the refs, fool the fans, and get calls and get to the line. Like, no, he's trying to play the game. Like instead of this flopping, flailing game that I believe that he plays, and this mind game that he plays with the refs and the fans, I believe he went in and was like, I'm gonna do the things, what I'm saying, that got me to that MVP level. And that's what he did. And he had a much better, much better, much more efficient game.
Maybe the disagreement part is the mindset part. First of all, I don't know what anybody's thinking, right? But I kind of agree with you can tell when someone is approaching a game with a certain type of mindset, but I don't think that is Shea's game. I think the way he plays at certain time, like I think there's a difference between hooping and playing NBA basketball. I think there's the games within the game as well. Like in the NBA, nobody that has been great, that has scored a bunch of points, that has done a bunch of winning, does it by not going to the free throw line. Making free throws is part of playing basketball. Maybe when you're doing pickup, just in the gym or outside, there's no free throws, but people will call fouls, just get the ball back, whatever. But in the NBA, there are fouls. And teams know, and players like Shea, when you're at this high level, okay, they're gonna put this guy on me. This guy's the best matchup. If I get him in foul trouble, they have to then switch someone else onto me, and then I'm putting their whole team at jeopardy. Uh, Now the flailing part, because part of the conversation we were having on Saturday, which is why I wanted to talk about it at the time, was because we were having a different conversation until the words flailing and flopping got brought up. Because I think foul baiting and flailing and flopping are two different things. I think what you shook your head. Why? What's your disagreement there?
I want to I want to hear your explanation. I mean, they're literally the same thing. But go ahead. I want to hear your explanation as to why
Okay,
they're different.
foul baiting to me is you're trying to okay. An example I brought up to you was the Kevin Durant rip through. Kevin Durant used to get the ball, bring it down, and people as soon as people put their arm in, he will do that because he knows it's a foul. They're at a compromised position defensively, and he's taking advantage of that. That's foul baiting. Flailing and flopping is going in just falling over when someone barely touched you, or just like because the Thunder as a whole does the flailing and flopping, but only Shea can actually foul bait because if let me see, I'm looking at the rock. If Lou Dort just drives in trying to look for a foul instead of trying to make the layup, they're not going to respect that because it's Lou Dort. We know you're not. That's not you, right? When he does it, it's flailing versus when the great players do it when they're trying to just get to the line. When they're trying to, I don't even say just get to the line, but obviously, when you as a basketball player, when you drive in a game where there are free throws, do you not when you see that in the bonus or this person got 3, 4, 5 fouls, are you not trying to get them to foul? Is that not part of playing basketball, especially in the NBA? Does not help.
No, I mean that is my thing is though you have like and that action of the Kevin Durant, he's flopping while he like you have to flop to foul bait. You know what I'm saying? So it's still like it's still the same thing. Like it's still he's swiping through, you know, and he's like he's holding my arm. Like that's still a flop. Like that's still if you I mean if you look up the definition, based off what the NBA has, like you to like they're one and the same. It's all the same.
See, I
That's the reason why I combine them. I don't think they're different.
Look, I can see why you would think that, but let me see if I can find the exact definition to what they would consider a flop. Because flopping to me is when you're falling over when no one touched you, or like there's exaggerated contact, like when you drive and you got hit, like someone like LeBron, if LeBron he'll drive to the paint and maybe he won't do like fall or whatever, but when they be like, hey, you make all the noise, make sure the refs recognize because sometimes the refs their eyes might be somewhere else. They might not see the foul. They might not even think there was a foul, right? Because of a player who might be strong, or they might think a player can still make that layup. But sometimes players really are getting fouled. To I got the flopping rule right here. Oh shit, I just lost it. Let me see. A flop is an attempt to either fool referees into calling undeserved fouls or fool fans into thinking the referee missed a foul call by exaggerating the effect of contact with an opposing player. So that is what you said, and I agree. No, I'm not. No. I'm not
I'm saying.
agreeing with what you said. I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
I know you're not
I'm not
agreeing, but
disagreeing with it.
I'm just saying the definition is right there. They one and the same.
And now, for some reason, the NBA doesn't even. They don't even like call the flopping call. I remember a few years ago they were supposed to
They
call flopping call.
yeah,
They
they
don't do
stopped.
that. which is why the Thunder are a very annoying team to watch as a
Mm-hmm.
whole. But Shea, just like any great player to me, you have to put your team in the position to try to win, and getting to the free throw line is part of that. I've never, and maybe part of it might be because I'm a James Harden fan, but also I was a Kobe fan. Kobe would do that. He would get the ball, pump fake, pump fake, get someone to jump, and he'll, shoot when he knows the contact is there. Now, Kobe was a very good shot maker, so he could make some of those tough shots, but that doesn't mean he made all of them, right? And people like to be like, oh, he went up without even trying to make it. Sometimes, there is almost impossible to make it, but sometimes those shots do go in, and it go to the credit of the great player. Uh, I just disagree with. I don't like. I think Shea approached the game different because it was a game 7. He had no choice. There's no room for error. He can't go out there trying to not play his best of his ability, because if they lose, they're out. If he doesn't play great, they're out. And he played great, they're still out. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I agree. He changed his mindset because it was a game 7. I'm just saying this is how his mindset should be every single game in the regular season and every single game in the postseason. But it's not, and it's
well,
clear.
I don't think it can be, because in an 82 game season, you know, the shots he was making are tough shots. Is he a good shot maker? Absolutely. But when he has Stephon Castle, who guarded him most of the series, all over him, who's hella strong, and then Shea, who he's a driver. He gets to the paint. When Wemby's down there, he can't just go down there. He's gonna get his shit sent every time. So it's like he had to resort to trying to find other ways to win. And in that game, I mean, he's hitting tough shots. I mean, he like I said, he got a lot of that off on Julius Champagne. Like when Wemby was out the game, you know. I'm trying to see if I can find how many free throws did he shoot in that exact game. All right, so I mean, he shot 11 free throws. Let me see in the other games. In game 6, he shot 3 free throws. Game 5, he shot 8. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was the wrong person. In game 5, that was the game he shot 17.
Yeah,
Um, and then, which I think honestly, after game 5, I think game 6, when he had a very bad game, 6 for 18 that game, he couldn't make nothing. But also after game 5, I think there might have been also emphasis on some of the flopping stuff, right?
hmm
And he knew going into game 7, hey, he can't try to make this a ref game, right?
hmm
Which I agree in the point of, like, sometimes like, you have to, the refs, as much as some people don't want to admit it, they are part of the game. They're there. If you drive to the paint, you get fouled, you're going to look at the ref. Your coach can't call that
yeah,
foul, or you can't call your own foul. The ref has
right.
to call the foul. He knew he can't go into game 7, a game for his life, honestly. Um, he can't go out there on BS. And as much as I would want to, I don't want to shit on Shea anymore. I think he got pretty much everything that everybody wanted to get off. He definitely saved himself a little bit by having a good game, but
Yeah,
regardless, his team lost.
yeah.
Um,
Cancun on me, Cancun on 3.
so now we are in the finals, and we have the Spurs versus the Knicks, a
Yes,
rematch of
sir.
'99. We weren't even alive the last time the Knicks made it to the finals, so first time we'll ever see it. And shout out to the NBA, they're bringing the logo back in the court
We'll see
for the
how it
first
look.
time since 2009.
They got to do
Uh,
it right. They got to do it right.
I mean, they've been making up so many excuses why they couldn't do it, but now they finally did it. And it's not a sticker; it's painted on. This is
hmm
official. It's real. Uh, low complaint. I wish it used to be bigger on the court, but it's a little smaller. But that's they gotta make space for the ads on the court. They gotta
Yeah.
still make money.
Yeah.
Hey Lilia.
Lately, go playing.
Of course, we haven't
Oh,
seen game 1 yet. What is your initial thought and prediction for this series?
Knicks in 5, and I'm not even joking. That's the reason why I didn't want to do this video because I really wanted to examine this, and I'm locked in on Knicks in 5. The Knicks are going to win tonight too. Um, Knicks in 5. There is a game plan to win. It's funny, go. And there's a game plan to win, and it starts with Wimby, and then it's going to end with Josh Hart. Um, Obviously, Wimby, Wimby is there. Like the biggest question in a lot of people's heads, is going to be like, how does New York correctly deal with Wimby, right? But you got high screening roles with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is going to have to be elite, which he's been elite. He's been consistent. He's going to be that. The New York has actually played well against the Spurs, and they've ran a lot of good action to take Wimby out of the game, and they can isolate him. Obviously, transition if you just run, if you get out in transition, and Wimby is back trying to get a rebound or something, right? So you're good there. Is Josh Hart going to make his threes? That's
That
that's going to be a good question. Is Josh Hart going to
yeah.
make? If Josh Hart makes threes, the Spurs are gonna have a long 5 games.
Well, I don't predict that Josh Hart's going to hit his 3, 4, 5 games. I do think
Two,
that the the Knicks do have a dog in this fight. I'm picking Spurs in 7. Um, and I said this before. When I say 7, I honestly don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to pick the team. I'm going to say the Spurs. I was thinking this earlier today. I don't believe if there is a game 6 in New York, I don't care if that's the Knicks clinching it or sending it to 7. The Knicks are not losing game 6 in New York because that arena, and I honestly hope we get to game 6 because I want to see what that arena is like with the Knicks with a chance to clinch the NBA championship or send it to 7.
they'll be
Um,
they'll be up. They'll be up. The Knicks will be
that
up. If we're in
and
game 6, the Knicks are up.
I really would want to see that game. Let me see. When was the in-season tournament? It's not even showing this. Okay, it's not even
Whew,
going to show this on here.
that's a long time ago, but I know I just saw those stats. Chris, lately, it was I actually just saw Chris Broussard had said like, oh, you can't. There's no one on San Antonio that you can hunt, and he was wrong. You can actually hunt Wimby. You can actually go after Wimby. Oh my gosh, this little
So,
hold on,
now look,
hold on.
Avery's not
Laylee,
here right now. It's cool.
come here, come here, sit down. All right, there we go.
In the in-season tournament, let me see. Jalen Brunson had a solid game. He was 11 for 27 for 20. He had 25 points. OG Anunoby actually was the one who was really cooking, and that was actually I don't know if you remember. Tyler Kolek went crazy, which was only 14 points, but for Tyler Kolek, that's a big 14. Um, Wemby didn't have the greatest of games. He had 18, only 6 rebounds, which honestly, I think that is the thing that the Knicks really are going to take advantage of is trying to rebound because we seen last series the Spurs can basically not survive when Wemby's out the game. You put Luke
Mm-hmm.
Cornett in, it's free eats. Um, and though Mitchell Robinson isn't going to play like crazy amount of minutes, all he needs is a few minutes to just muck up the game, be strong, get rebounds. And Karl-Anthony Towns is no slouch of a rebounder either. Um, so I think Wemby's gonna have to really rebound like really well, and he's very thin. He can be pushed off his spots.
Mm-hmm.
And also because they're gonna try to put him on Josh Hart, and with them putting him on Josh Hart, probably just have him roam. Cat's gonna be out there, be able to shoot. And
Mm-hmm.
then if they put Wemby on Cat, then it just now he's out of the paint
Yeah.
and it could just open up the paint for the team because the Thunder couldn't take advantage of that because they didn't have the shooting, especially at the
Right.
big man spot.
Yeah.
Uh, and then you in Game 7 in the first half, the Thunder were dominating on offensive glass. They had the two bigs in there getting a bunch of not a bunch. It was really just Isaiah Hartenstein getting them. But they were getting offensive rebound. I seen Shea get offensive rebound after like a free throw miss or something like that. It's just like Wemby can't be the only person trying to rebound. Um, and I don't know who on the Spurs is going to be the other guy to really crash. I mean, they can try to tell everybody to crash, but then you're gonna want them to get back in transition. Um, but then also, even though I think Jalen Brunson is a much better playoff player as far as scoring wise than Shea being bigger, you know, than than uh than what's his
Jalen
name, Jalen
Brunson.
Brunson. Um, I don't know how that's going because I'm pretty sure Stephon Castle is going to be on him, right?
Yeah, yeah, but Jalen Brunson's height in this series, thank goodness it's not for me. It's not that much of a factor because like Stephon Castle, he's shorter. He's a shorter guard and stuff like that.
And he's
So
6'5".
he don't look 6'5". That may be
How
inflated.
tall
That
you
may be
think
one of
Shea
them.
is?
That may be one of them NBA inflated heights.
I
Stephon
mean,
Castle does not look six.
what
Shea
height would
looks
you
like
say
he's
he is?
six
Because
six.
you said,
I think Stephon Castle is like 6'4",
wait,
6'3". He
did you
looks
say
short.
Shea is 6'6"?
Yeah, Shea looks like he's 6'6". I think he's
Shea
six
is
six.
6'4".
No, see, yeah, the NBA be,
Nah,
NBA be
I'm
inflating stuff,
telling
bro.
you,
I'm telling
Shea
you.
is shorter than people think.
No,
Shea
they
is shorter
just
than
did
people
it to
think.
the rookie coming in Devontae AJ Devontae. They be changing the heights. They've been doing it to KD for years.
Well,
NBA changes height.
we all know KD 6'11", right? Like it what
KD 7 feet tall. What are you
6'11",
talking
7 feet,
about?
either or 7 feet. But I'm saying like KD's not 6'9". They were saying like they might do some like, but Shea is not 6'6". But I think Stephon Castle is 6'5", and maybe if we even put him at 6'4", that's the point is he's bigger than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
There's we can talk about the heights all we
he's
want. I
taller,
don't know
but
what they got
not
Jalen
that
Brunson
much.
height as. I'll tell you, he ain't 6'1". Matter of fact, let me see
Bro,
what
he's
they got
six
here.
one. Jalen Brunson is 6'1".
Jalen
He
Brunson's not
looks
six
6'1".
one, bro. No, he's not, bro.
Bro, the
They got him at six
NBA be
two. They got him listed at 6'2", at least on
he's
Basketball
six
Reference.
one. He's 6'1". All right, you got me.
Whether
You got me
whether everyone's height is inflated, okay? Everyone's height is inflated. Regardless, the point still stands. Stephon Castle is bigger than Jalen Brunson. Now, I don't know this for facts. Let me see. It said, what's his weight? 190 pounds. What is Shea's weight? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they weigh about the same. Shea's
I was about to say
195.
195. I was about to say 185.
Um, but because Shea is a little taller, you know, his center of gravity is not as low as like Jalen Brunson had that low center of gravity, and he's a very crafty guard. He's gonna he's gonna do some of the same things Shea was trying to do, but he's smaller. And you know how like we were just saying with the NBA, they see some players get pushed, it's a foul. Some players get pushed, it might not be a foul because they think they're stronger. Stephon Castle pushing Jalen Brunson is gonna look like he's bullying him because he's little. You know what I mean? Uh, it's
Man,
gonna look different.
Jalen Brunson gonna get some buckets. That's what he's gonna do.
He
It's
is
gonna
gonna
be a
get some
lot of
buckets.
N1.
He's gonna, and you know what? I don't remember. I don't know if it's true this year. I don't know what year it was specifically. One year he had the most and ones, and when you watch him, I don't know. He does it. He gets and ones so much, but Wimby it might be lurking around. So that's why game one, like it, my prediction is still gonna be Spurs in 7 regardless. Um, but I really want to see how this game one is gonna go because I can't wait to see how both teams try to guard each other, what the minutes look like. Um, and then there's also the factor that I think might be the biggest factor, especially early on in the series, the rest versus rust. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the Spurs got the 7-game series. The Knicks ain't played in a week and some change.
Hey, but they've been hot.
They
Hot.
have, but also they were hot against the Cavs and then Philly. I mean, granted, you play who's in front of you, and the fact they swept both teams, give credit to them. And you're never gonna be mad at a team for getting out of the series as quick as they can. And I'm not saying that they did wrong by doing that, but it's possible they could be rusty. Now, obviously, they've been in the gym shooting around. I'm assuming, but they got to go on the road now into game one in a series, And that crowd, I mean, I've seen it already. They're gonna have the fiesta going around in the crowd in San Antonio. Not that I think that's really gonna matter that much, but I'm pretty. They're ready in San Antonio. They are ready in San Antonio.
Yeah, but San Antonio is also coming off of a very emotional win.
That is true.
So
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going transpire. But I do think that you say you got Knicks in game one.
mhm.
I could see that's the thing. I could see anything, but I think the Spurs come out and get a close win. I don't think it's going to be many blowouts in this series.
It shouldn't.
Um, at
If a
least I
team
hope
gets
not.
blown out, that's a huge red flag for whatever
Yeah,
team gets blown out.
hopefully neither team, or at least if it is a blowout, I hope it's like a last 5 minutes of the game. The team that was up 6 just go up like 15 and just like okay, now it's.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't want no going into halftime. The score is 55-38 or something like that. Like let's not do that.
Like one of them Knicks blowouts. That let me.
Yeah, like I don't want to see none of the Knicks blowouts. At least
Oh man.
I would like to see a Knicks blow out at least one game. Maybe like if each team blow each other out one game, fine. I don't want this to be a every game is a blowout type of thing.
Yeah. That'd be horrible. I'm not
Yeah,
expecting that though. I'm expecting close games as well. I just do think I think my Knicks will get it in 5.
my Knicks
Yeah,
is so
my
crazy.
Knicks. My
My
Knicks. I've
Knicks
been
is
rolling with the
crazy.
Knicks all postseason long, man. Other than my Lakers, obviously, but because
I mean,
but
I picked who did I pick? Did I pick any? I picked Philly, but that was based off of the emotional win of beating the Celtics. But other than that, I mean, the Knicks being here is no surprise to me. But I don't rock with my Spurs, you know, all playoffs. I called it before the playoffs. I said Spurs to the finals. I've been saying it. I've been here. San Antonio, I
you
got my
did.
black on. We here. So yeah, with that being said, man, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, man. We'll go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys for watching Unapologetic Sports. Or thank you guys for watching Horseshoe Hoops on Unapologetic Sports. We will try to be back as much as we can. When is game 2? Friday?
Should be
I think.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It depends on if there's something to talk about. If there's nothing to talk about, whatever. I'll make some TikToks or whatever. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Peace out.
Mhm.